lots of open ice. A great skater. Turns away from Bergeron. Cody Franson can't get the shot away. Watched by Peverley. Now he'll just dump it in for Fratton to go after, and instead it comes over to Kadri.
I think for Franson, nobody was in front. I don't think he felt he was going to beat Rask from there, so tried to reboot and get something else.
Now the Bruins should get out. Bergeron flips the puck through center and heads to the bench on a change.
That was going to be icing. That's a bad play by Reimer there. That was going to be an ice.
Icing with a tired line.
Yeah.
Kelly at center. Jaromir Jagr takes over. He's got Seidenberg, Chara, and Chris Kelly with him. Gardner tried to find Kadri and just missed. And now there's going to be an icing, and it's a tired Toronto line that has to stay.
No, I don't know, Glenn. It's difficult at times to find the linesman, and the linesman was right up against the penalty box along the glass, and maybe Reimer just didn't see it, but somebody from the bench should be yelling. That's a costly play now that the Leafs are tired and have the icing.
And Kadri doesn't take many defensive zone faceoffs. He's been overmatched, so they haven't been using him much.
Well, he's 11% right now, 1-8, but there's his second big win.
A real important one, and he hustles to the bench to get a change as Grabowski comes on for him. And the Leafs get out through center. Nikolai Kulemin. Phaneuf goes to the net. There's the shot up high on Tuukka Rask, and he hangs on as Phaneuf went towards the goal, and Seidenberg and Chara move him away. Still 4-on-4, 8:37 to go in the third period, with the Bruins leading 4-2. The Leafs come close, but Rask hangs on Hockey Night.
Freedom, rights, freedom.
Back into his own zone, and there's 6 seconds left in his own zone.
These two teams, you've got the experience. These two teams, you've got the experience. These two teams, you've got the experience.
Hustle stays on the ice up front with Lupul and Kadri. Chara is back. Milan Lucic just about gave the puck away to Kadri. Now he gets it over to Dennis Seidenberg, and he'll skate out to center. Dump it in. That's the Bruins game right now. Get to center, dump it in. Leafs can't get out. Krejci. Port to Chara. An easy save there for Reimer. You can see it all the way. Gardner is back to Joffrey Lupul. Now a chance to get out 3-on-2. Here's Phil Kessel. Gunnarsson coming with him. Long shot. Kicked aside by Tuukka Rask and out of play.
Well, some anxious moments for Tuukka Rask, and came off some great patience by Franson at the blue line. Couldn't find a shooting lane, just kept backing up and pulling it around Campbell, and then just throws it to the net with traffic. Rask gets knocked down by his own man Ferentz, and then doesn't know exactly where it is, but tries to get the arms out and down. Bad feeling, I would imagine, Glenn, when you're facing the wrong way.
Yeah, probably not typical goaltending to be on your rear end facing the net. However, effective. Why not? Tim Thomas has done it. I don't think hitting a guy in the finals is effective, but he did it.
Tom Hasek made a living at that every night. Here's Matt Fratton with his shot, and a nice save by Rask with some traffic in front. Again, the Leafs hold the puck in as they picked up the pace, and they're coming on offensively. But down by a couple of goals. Bruins send the puck down the ice again, and Gardner gets back. It's another icing call against Boston.
Simmer, you talked about the experience of the Bruins. They've got experience on their blue line, and they have physical players on their blue line. Here's JVR, big battle in front of the net for a puck, and because of that battle, he ends up coming back to the bench with a bloodied nose. Training staff worked on him over the last shift, and he's good to go.
Chris Kelly won another faceoff. Yager trying to get the puck out, can't get it by Jake Gardner. Moves into the middle of the ice with Yager in pursuit. Pass back to Cody Franson, couldn't shoot right away, now he hit the post. Finally got the shot away, and he hit the post. Here's Nikolai Kulemin, stole the puck away from Chara. To the inboards, McQuaid is there, and he backhands the puck out to center. Bruins are really hanging on in their own zone, icing the puck right now. The Leafs are getting some chances. Kulemin, Van Riemsdyk. Indeed, Chara bumped by Kulemin. Grabowski taken out by McQuaid. And a quick whistle by the referee with the puck stuck on the boards.
Well, lots of chances, and Franson seeming to get his offensive game going. He made the other chance earlier on, this time a bad pass that he can't handle, but he just fires it through a screen and off the post. The crowd trying to get their team into it, but another example of playoffs, you got to just keep plugging away, keep going forward.
Leafs have had 14 shots in the third period. They've now had 44 for the game.
And lots of time left. 2 goals, lots of time to keep the push going offensively.
Past 2 shifts, they've got to score on both.
Yeah. Rask has been good, and because of that, he's been a little lucky. Leafs win another draw. Phaneuf to the net. That went off Andrew Ferentz and wide. Here's Joffrey Lupul centering, loose puck again, and it's cleared away by Bergeron before Kessel could get his stick on it. Bergeron took a hard hit from Joffrey Lupul as he cleared the puck. The Bruins just hanging on, dumping the puck out of their zone, trying to dump it in. Back comes Joffrey Lupul again. Stops up, trying to feed the point. Gunnarsson, nice job to keep the play onside. Then Kessel couldn't handle the puck. Again, it's kept in and shot over top of the net by Dion Phaneuf. Chara to Brad Marchand. Gains center ice, chips the puck in. Bergeron gives chase. To Tyler Seguin. He's checked by Kulemin, and Gunnarsson comes over for the puck. Gunnarsson went down, Seguin went down. That's turnabout being fair play, and neither of them got the puck. Grabowski to Kulemin, on rushing. Here comes Van Riemsdyk. Can't get the shot, but hit up high by Boychuk. Fans call a penalty, the refs don't. Kulemin has the puck. Van Riemsdyk just now getting backed up. Grabowski couldn't get a hold of the puck as it's cleared to center again.
Well, if he had a bloody nose before, he's going to have one again.
And another icing call against Boston.
Well, Van Riemsdyk with a real head of steam. A little curl back play, and he tries to get through. He gets the elbow right in the nose and goes down hard. some good battles going on here. Lupul getting in a good lick on Bergeron. He reacted. Bergeron got him back a little later on in the shift as well. So the weight being thrown around and then a slash to the back, trying to chop the tree down.
Down to 4:49 left. The last few shifts have all been in the Bruin end of the rink.
The Bruins are trying to pull a fast one here, I think, guys. Chara wasn't on the ice for that last shift, I don't think. That was Ference.
And they're not going to get away with it because the referee's checking to see who is on the ice. But
Either
what
way,
it does
works.
do,
Yeah.
it gives you basically a timeout. And he's going to send Andrew Ference back on. But all of this takes 30, 40 seconds. And the Bruins, with a tired line on the ice, don't pay.
I'm surprised Randy's not a little bit more upset with that.
Do you think there should be a penalty for that?
Yeah, it's pretty clear the
There was such a slow icing, too. And you normally the linesmen are right to the bench to let you know, okay, don't make that change.
That's a delay of game, but it works.
But he gets the matchup still with Kessel without him on. And Luca was dead tired at the end of that shift, too.
Krejci turned the puck over, and they can't change. Bozek feeds the blue line. Franson just onside with a shot just wide. Boychuk gets to the puck, and he fires it out again, touched by Jake Gardner, so it didn't go all the way down the ice. And the Bruins scramble and make a change. Here comes Gardner leading the way to center. Kessel gives him the puck back. He'll drive wide, head up, looking around. Jake Gardner. Crowd forms in front of the net, and he turns and fires, and the puck went into the corner. Bounced off the boards. There's Gardner again to hold the puck in. Batted out of the air by Peverly to center. Down to 4 minutes to go, third period. And now the Leafs have 45 shots on goal. Chris Kelly chips the puck in. Dion Phaneuf, first man back. Yager on the forecheck. And Phaneuf pulls away from him. Has Kadri with him at center. Gains the attacking blue line and takes the shot, steered aside by Rask. Nazem Kadri has Ryan Hamilton in front. Gunnarsson. Big crowd in front of the net. Kadri bobbled the puck and then kicked it outside the line. Paille trying to advance it. Gunnarsson back the other way. Here's Kadri with Hamilton. And Matt Pratt. Thornton trying to catch Nazem Kadri. Andrew Ference takes over, looks up ice, makes a pass to Gregory Campbell. Fourth line is 3-on-2. Thornton takes the shot, stopped by Reimer, and then he left the puck behind. Paille got it to Boychuk, his shot. That was blocked, and Boychuk gets it again into Gregory Campbell. Time-eating shift here for the Bruins' fourth line. Ference from the blue line just keeps the puck in. Gunnarsson. Thornton's just tying him up here, keeping the puck in and the clock running. Bergeron arrives on the scene. Good battle by Thornton, and he won it. Ference shoots wide of the net. Brad Marchand doesn't want to throw the puck blindly in front, just keeps it on the boards, working the clock out front, and the backhander was Bergeron. Couldn't get the wraparound. Out of the corner, Sagan. Return pass from Patrice Bergeron didn't work. Here's Ference with a screen shot just wide of the net. Best shift for the Bruins in a while. Seidenberg shot stopped. Bergeron fed the puck in front, couldn't backhand it in. And finally, the Leafs get out of their own zone. Kadri got the puck to center. Valuable time goes off the clock.
Kadri was dead tired, too. He had some tough battles down low. And for Hamilton, that was his first shift of the period.
And that was the Bruins' best shift of the period, I think. Here comes Jake Gardner again. Attacks the blue line with speed. 1-on-4. He got the puck to the corner. Seidenberg. Goaltender's thinking about coming out here. Reimer's looking at the bench. Started to go. Now he can't because the Bruins are coming out to center. Under 2 minutes to go, and the Leafs will pull their goaltender as soon as they get a chance here. Grabowski stripped to the puck, trying to get it to Van Riemsdyk. Now Van Riemsdyk gets in. The goaltender's coming out for the extra attacker. Thrown in the net. Chara bowls Van Riemsdyk into the boards. Kuhlman pass through the legs of Van Riemsdyk. Franson put the shot on net. There's a big rebound. Grabowski couldn't get a hold of it. Thrown out to center. Here's Nathan Horton with an empty net to David Krejci, and he'll put it away. And the Boston Bruins, with 1:17 left in the third period, take a 5-2 lead.
Well, solid pressure, as you mentioned. The one good shift by the Boston Bruins killed off about 55 seconds in the offensive zone. That was a big time killer for the Bees. And then a nice play by Lucic. Didn't panic, didn't ice it down, and tic-tac-toe to make it a 3-goal game.
There's really a couple shifts where the Leafs had some momentum, and it was that one shift by Boston where they spent well over a minute in the zone, and it was all over. And JVR, that's the playoffs. Cat got his tongue tonight. No response from Toronto.
That's two experienced lines with great shifts. It was that fourth line of Gregory Campbell's, followed by Patrice Bergeron. And that's what bottled the Leafs and the Kadri line up in their own zone and really kept them from keeping the offensive push they had going.
And it's been the Krejci line that continues to score. And that's been their best offensive one. But you're right, everybody else chips in without getting the goals.
This is a big scoring night for a Boston team that hasn't had many of these all season long where they get 5. Game number 4, Wednesday at 7. Jay McClement plays just offside with 35 seconds left. Still more action to come on Hockey Night in Canada tonight. Can the Stanley Cup champions even up their series with the St. Louis Blues? Find out firsthand. 2-1 series lead and likely a 2-1 score again tonight as Los Angeles and St. Louis play game 4. Been a pretty exciting day here. People started to gather at Maple Leaf Square very early in the day, but you can see it's a pretty dejected lot as they start to break up the gathering. Jake Gardner's played a lot tonight, hasn't he, with the Leafs chasing the game, trying to get back in it?
Yeah, he showed really good flashes of his offensive skill. And you think for Randy Carlyle, the adjustments they made after game 1, they had 4 new players in the lineup. You can't help but think after another loss and a difficult one at home that some changes will probably happen in game 4.
5-2, and they are still breaking it down. They're worse than you guys in the bar after a game. But you think the Bruins, I got a contribution from every line tonight and almost every set of D.
They took advantage of what was offered them too. The mistakes ended up in the back of the net. They promised to be better, and they have been. Tuukka Rask pretty good tonight too. 46 saves as the buzzer sounds. And a disappointing end to the first playoff game at the Air Canada Centre in 9 years. 48 shots for Toronto to 38 for Boston. A lot of them in the third period. But the experienced Boston Bruins win it 5-2 and take a 2-1 series lead as we join Ron McLean. Jim, thanks a lot. Crown Royal.
Every day is Christmas. Cash rules everything around me. Cash rules everything around me. Cash rules everything around me. If you ain't getting money, get from around me.
Tell us what you want to hear.
Be a part of our music meeting. Log on to Hip Hop Nation page on SiriusXM.com. I'm Waka Flocka Flame, and I'm tuned in to Hip Hop Nation.
And you should too.
We the motherfucking best, nigga. Ace. Super.
I come looking for you with Haitians. I stay smoking on good Jamaican. I for bitches from different races. You get money, they started hating. I woke up in a new Bugatti. 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 I woke up in a new Bugatti.
Niggas be hating, I'm rich as a bitch. 100K I spent that on my wrist. $200 spent that on your bitch. Do me your model, put that on my list. Oh, there he going that foreign again. Killing the scene, bring the coroner in. Murder she wrote, swallow a choke. Hit her and go, I won't call her again. Woke up running in mountain. Crib as big as a college. Smoke me a pound of the loudest. Whipping some shit with no mileage. Diamonds cost me a fortune. Them horses all in them Porsches. You pussies can't handle afford it. 4,200 my mortgage. Falling on niggas like Corbett. Fuck all you haters, you bore me. Only the real get a piece of the plate. Reppin' my city and running my state. Keep me a pistol, they run with the case. Niggas won't beef, then I vintage the place. Bang.
I come looking for you with Haitians. I stay smoking on good Jamaican. I fuck bitches from different races. You get money, they started hating. I woke up in a new Bugatti. 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 I woke up in a new Bugatti.
And I'm at it again. There go that flow bringing tragedy in. Cop me your chain, your salary spent. Niggas just sweeping them cavities in. Counting money, hourly trend. Rolling them skinny like Olsen twins. Niggas the squares, cabinet bins. Neck full of gold, Olympian shit. Demons, I'm blowing the check on the gear. Falling some pussy, then hop on the leer. Strap with them choppers in back of the rear. Sock pussy, them killers is here. Woke up early this morning. Mine is telling me money. Paper, moolah. Pockets as fat as a tumor. Being a nigga, no rumor. Living my life off a tuna. Want it with me, I deliver the beef. Real niggas only enjoying the feast. Pull up a seat, bon appetit. No Louboutins when they're red on your sleeve. Bang, 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 bang.
I come looking for you with Haitians. I stay smoking on good Jamaican. I fuck bitches from different races. You get money, they started hating. I woke up in a new Bugatti. 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 I woke up in a new Bugatti.
Photographs of dope boys. It's all they taking. Fingerprints on a Rolls Royce. It's why they hating. Push a button on his broke boys. That's detonation. Walk the road to riches bare feet. Me. I watch mama struggle. Now she living carefree. That's why I hustle for that half a key. That's 12 G's. I'm trying to bubble every summer hunting LP. You gotta love me. I got shooters out the D-League. Signing bone and hit that man. That's from 30 feet. Left in the puddle. Fingerprints is on a 100 mil. That's what it is. Ricky
Radio star on hip-hop TV. My life is on film, yet it sucks being me.
Sit down.
My life's a wreck. I'm bored with sex. I've got a big nose and a skinny neck. I can't sing. I can't dance. I make money talk about the junk in my underpants. I'm a tortured man. I'm a tortured man. I can't believe I am who I am. I'm a tortured man. I'm a tortured man. I can't believe I am who I am.
Oh, there we go. We're on. We are on. Are we doing this? You ready to go? You ready to go? Vapor Central, how the fuck are you tonight? How are you? We got
What's
two
up,
guys
stoners?
very excited for the show. Welcome to the CK POTcast, everybody.
It's Monday night.
It is Monday night. We just lost. The Leafs just lost.
Boo. Shitty.
Woo!
Shut
Go
up.
Boston!
You're a dink. You don't even like Boston. You just want to piss me off.
No, here's my thing with the Leafs. I want them to lose, as you know. If you're watching this at home, we started a half hour late.
Cal's a piece of shit.
I am a huge piece of shit. But that's been comedy shows all week. It's starting late because of the fucking Leafs.
Yeah, playoffs does interfere with comedy.
Sure does, and it just annoys the shit out of me.
But it's a small price to pay for the Leafs in the playoffs.
I went to go turn off the TVs at the other club I do.
Yeah.
At Spirits. So I go to turn off the TV.
They were mad.
Oh, don't you touch that fucking TV, bud. Don't even think about fucking touching that TV, bud. All right, man, sorry.
Don't want to piss off the hockey
Jesus.
fans.
You ever wonder why it is so popular and people are so ingrained in sports in general? Because I had this thought with Matt Oliver in the back, was these guys get to lift the cup at the end of the season. Woo, we did it. We won. 2 months later, got to start all over again. That's got to take a little fucking stink off it.
Yeah, but you get to do it for that one moment. You are, the best at what you do.
Yeah. But you ever wonder why the general public is so invested in how well these sports go? Like, it causes fights. It causes torment, pain.
I
People
can't speak
cry.
for the rest of the
Grown
world,
men bawl their eyes out when their teams lose.
But for a lot of Canada, winter is shit. And people are stuck inside. And hockey gives them something to do.
See, I always enjoyed playing it more than I liked watching it.
It's fun to play.
If you get out there and you can fucking play it, why wouldn't you do that? That's way better.
You
Even if
can't
you're
play
shit.
it all the time. And it's good when you like something, it's good to watch. It's fun to watch the very best people do it. Like, good hockey is fun to watch. It's like I can't do that shit. I'm excited to see that someone's figured that out.
Yeah, the shit that Crosby does is insane. Hey, Matt Oliver, what's going on?
That
We have a
kid's
bit of
nuts.
technical difficulties? No, we like
No,
the
no,
TV.
we
like the TV.
We usually have the TV on.
We like watching the shit.
That's where we put the
We
videos.
put videos on, then we watch.
Sorry, Matt.
You goddamn idiot.
It was not me.
You want to sit up here and do some sports with us for a bit? We
Matt
got Matt
Oliver.
Oliver in the house, everybody. Matt Oliver. Sports fan Matt Oliver.
So
Incredibly-
how'd you feel about that game?
Well, I knew that Boston was going to come strong in Game 3.
Oh, they had to come back big.
They had to come
I always come strong.
Saturday
Always
night
come
was.
strong.
If you're not coming strong, you're not coming at all. You know what I mean?
That's correct.
So sometimes you just dribble.
But we should be thankful, even for the dribble.
Yeah, you know what? It's there.
But when you dribble come, it's still as hard as you can.
Okay, now we're getting off the topic of hockey.
But anyways, I think that Toronto now is going to have to come back with Game 4 intensity, and it's Game 7 for them. You can't go down 3-1 and then have two more games in Boston and have
because I mean, mathematically, Toronto has to win 2 in a row to win this thing. So I mean, it may come to the first team that gets 2 back-to-back.
That's right. But
I still think this series is going to go. It's going to go a few games. There you go. We got the prediction there.
No way.
Yeah, it's
Now,
all.
I thought Toronto Boston was going to be the most physical game of the playoffs or series of the playoffs.
Yeah, they're
but
dancing out there.
But Senators and Canadians, they're beating the shit out of each other, literally.
They full on hate each other.
What's the tooth count now? Like 3 to 1?
It's a bad ratio.
I had this idea. I was talking to K. Trevor about
Is it 5 teeth to 1 now? Because they just keep both goaltenders have lost teeth. Players are just handing teeth to trainers during these games.
I think when you get into the NHL, probably even before that, even as a young 16-year-old, you must when you start on that path towards the NHL, you must be pretty comfortable with the idea that you're going to probably lose your front teeth.
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking on hockey as a profession, I don't think fabulous smile is something you're banking on for the rest of your life.
But you have to have that conscious thought too. Oh, you got to move in. Give me a hug, buddy. Get in here. Lay in my lap. Lay in my lap.
Oh, he's going to fall asleep because he's high.
Down. So anyway, I had this thought. If you really wanted to
move the camera.
What's going on here, guys? Are we having camera issues?
Yeah, we're good.
They don't need to see Matt Oliver.
No, I'm not important to look at.
You
Couldn't see
really
me.
don't. You
Oh.
don't need to see K. Trev at all. You're not.
Shut up.
K-Trev is the most important.
I'm wearing my giant Leafs jersey. I mean, for me, it's a normal-sized Leafs jersey, but trust me, if I put it on Cal, it would be a dress.
I could use. Yeah, it's a sleeping bag. It's possibly a house. If I get a big enough stick to prop it up, it's a tent.
Yes, it is.
There's actually no room for equipment under this jersey.
Well, you come pre-made with equipment, though.
Yeah, it's padding.
You know what? I still, as thick as I am, it still hurts when I get wanged with a puck, so I'd still prefer padding.
When you get wanged.
Yeah, you know.
Sounds slightly racist.
That was not.
Okay,
the
I
right
had this
word.
idea.
Only if you look at that.
What do you think about this strategy?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so you're losing, so you take your 4 worst guys or 5 worst guys, and you go get out there and fight with the 5 best guys. So then everyone gets game misconducts. They can't come to the next game. You're just losing 5 shitty dudes that you don't give a fuck about, but they're losing their stars.
I think if you get caught doing that, they'll. I think there's some built-in rule about telling your players to go fight a guy now.
Okay, well, then you got to code it
especially
up.
line brawls. You can't tell. You can't get 4 or 5 guys to go fight. The team will get a fine, serious
What if you
fine.
send out like 5 shitty small guys who will lose? That way only your guys are getting hurt. It's like I did that and it just really hurt
Then you
us.
run the risk of a guy getting a concussion. At this
Ah,
point, you don't
pussies.
really have cannon fodder.
And it begs the question, why is the other team's coach putting his best players on the ice when they're up 6-1 and the other team has their goons out there? According to me, that there's one coach that needs to get his head checked and another coach that needs to fucking
Yeah, I also have to agree with Matt on this. If
be a better coach.
Opposing team coach sees your goons line up, he's going to be, well, I'm going to send my goons out because we're winning.
Now,
And
you
then,
don't-
sorry, go ahead, Kyle.
you don't get a game misconduct just for a straight up one-on-one, right? This was
No,
just
you don't-
because
you
of
won't
the
get a-
velocity or the.
No, I think
and
they
it's
each
not-
had to fight twice to get game misconduct.
You'll get a game misconduct if you leave the bench. If there's a fight on the ice and somebody leaves the bench and jumps in, you'll get thrown out of the game. This is a 6th man in, or second man in, whatever it is.
All I would, if I was the coach, I'd just find ways to cheat. I'm such a piece of shit. That's
Well,
all I
and
would do.
the
I'd just
one
find
coach-
different.
This is why you'll never be a coach.
The one coach that was up in the game the other day, 6-1 or whatever, and called a timeout, I guess with 17 seconds to go. And the hot topic of all the sports call-in shows were, was it a bad show of sportsmanship of that coach to call a timeout when you're up 6-1?
Nah, that's a classic. Fuck you.
It is a classic.
Fuck
you too.
you.
But at the same time, when you're putting goons out there to fuck with the other team's players, sometimes that. So I give the coach a pass on that in my take. I don't think it wasn't breaking any unwritten rule.
No, I don't mind the timeout. That's just you
The
stop.
problem with unwritten rules is they're unwritten. They're not. It's not very specific.
What I like about the timeout is that it's you stop momentum. Not that it's 6-1, but at 6-1 you're being a fucking
left.
asshole.
Yeah,
which to me is hilarious. Like, good, yeah, that's awesome.
That's just prolonging the end of the game.
That's it.
That's really all it's doing.
Corporate sponsorships.
Rubbing it in on a few more commercials, and let's get out of there.
This NHL playoff game is brought to you by Subway.
Eat fresh. Nice.
Teeth on the ice.
Same time.
Many teeth on the ice. So game 4 in a couple of days. They obviously must win, and if we can take that one, we go back to Boston for game 5, and then that will be then another game we have to win.
Yeah.
You guys just have to win every game.
We have to win every game here on out.
Not happening, buddy.
Not happening.
If you had to put money on, you're one of the biggest Leafs fans I know.
I'd put money on them for game 4.
But you won't put money on them for the stretch. Round 1.
No, I wouldn't put money on the series at all. You can't bet on your team.
The biggest fan can't bet on his own team.
You can't bet on your own team.
It's bad luck.
It's bad luck. It's bad, What are you doing?
All right,
ridiculous.
so
No, I would put
luck.
money on
So
Washington
we got
beating the Rangers.
for sure.
And I think the Rangers won tonight, so that's probably a 2-1 series. I think Washington will come out
I can't believe how the hard time the Pens are getting
from the Islanders.
It's fucking crazy.
That's quite a surprise.
Tavares and Molson, they've got a few really good players on that team.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been saying all year that Tavares is an amazing player on a shitty team. Like the numbers he was putting up, he was still working with a -7 most of the season. So I mean, Islanders not a strong team defensively,
Not as strong.
but they've shown up against Pittsburgh, and they've got a fucking all-star team.
Yeah, man, it's fucked up. And especially that last game that went
3
to 5-4
captains on
in
that team.
overtime. That should never happen.
Well,
should
Malkin, Crosby, and who'd be the other one? Morrow or Kunitz?
Well,
Iginla?
Morrow and Iginla were both team
Okay,
captains
Iginla,
on the
right.
teams they were traded from. So technically, with Crosby, Iginla, and Morrow, you got 3 guys who were named team captain of a team this year on the same team.
They're the Yankees. They're the New York Yankees.
And look at
Just
also Chicago's
Pittsburgh
got a team
Yankees.
like that too. Hossa, Sharp, Toes,
Taves.
whatever.
Toves.
Leave me
You
alone.
idiot.
I fucked
You
up.
fucking idiot.
Leave it for the end of the show. And
Kane,
we gotta have the guy that says the corrections.
Crawford, Emery,
All right, before we kick you off
and
the
Emery
couch.
having a career season as a backup.
Indeed.
Hockey is so boring.
I know.
Without the clips.
I know. We got to have clips.
When it's
That's
just
why we're
stoners
gonna
talking
kick
about it.
Matt off the couch here. He's gonna go to the computer and do clips.
You got it.
How do
Here's
we
what's
turn this TV on?
I'll do it.
He'll do
Okay.
it. But before you go, I just want to ask you why the Jays suck.
I think the reason the Jays suck is because their coach, John Gibbons, is a dum-dum. Not motivating anybody to do anything. And
so much fucking hype around that team.
yeah, it's going to happen, though. I mean, it's only the first month of the season. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, I can see you just fine, K-Trev. You're good to go.
Yeah, there I am. Look at me. All red-bearded and...
All right, go to the back.
Sit up better.
All right, I'm out of here.
Get out of here, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming
so
on.
Yeah,
Matt.
I think that you'll see if they don't if they have another month in May like they did in April, like another 10 and 18 month or 10 and 17 month, that Gibbons will go. You can't.
They got the potential there. I was at the game on Tuesday, and they look like a great team.
10-2 they
couple
won
holes at. I
don't remember.
Couple holes in second base, but.
Isn't there only two problems really in baseball? There's your pitchers not pitching good enough, or your hitters aren't hitting good enough. Isn't that really the only thing?
Well, no, because there's other like defensive mistakes can be costly. If you got a guy who's not doing his job, if a guy like on Tuesday, their second baseman fucked up
out of the four major sports, baseball's
play.
the one I appreciate the least.
Oh, buddy, you have to have a few beers in you to watch a full thing of baseball.
It's fucking long.
Yeah.
Half the guys have beer bellies, which makes you can't be an athlete with a beer belly. That's
you know what? They've slimmed down a lot over the years. It's not the same as when we were younger.
No.
Most of them look like athletes nowadays, but there are a few guys with guts.
It's hilarious.
They're called designated hitters.
It's like
or first baseman.
Yeah, I played first base when I was in public school. That's just the laziest.
I'm a great first baseman.
Of course you are.
I'll just stand there.
You don't have to throw. All you have to do is catch the ball. One job.
Yep.
And some guy's getting paid millions of dollars.
Lots of money.
It's fucking stupid.
That's why they usually also have to hit.
Yeah. That was fuck, that was awful. Where was I going with this?
I have no idea.
Baseball makes me laugh because it reminds me, like when they put darts on TSN.
The darts take skill.
Takes skill, but it's not a sport.
All right, I'll give it to you. It's a game.
It's more of a sport than
it's more of a
pro
sport
wrestling.
than poker. No. Pro wrestling, you need to be an athlete to do. I'd say professional poker. I do not see that as a sport.
No, me either.
That is a game.
Yeah, if you're going to make that a sport, chess has to be a sport. Chess, I've always thought, should be in the Olympics. I know they had pondered it.
Poker is something you can do sitting down smoking.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Like that's right away. I think that makes it not a sport.
You can get all high and fucking drunk and still play and win.
Oh, yeah, usually you don't, though. If you're against some really sober poker assassin who's just taking all your money while you're shooting your mouth all drunk.
You know, that'd be a great thing to do on the podcast. Just do a poker game one night. We'll have cameras on everybody. We'll just shoot the shit while playing poker.
You just want
I'm sorry for pitching ideas while we're currently on the podcast. All right, so I was at the marijuana march.
You went.
Who went to the marijuana march? How fucking fun was that? Got a couple of hundred people out, high in the park. No cops. No cops showed up this year. I think it was like one on a bike, which is adorable. That's an adorable way to fight injustice. A cop in little bike shorts.
I'm more imitated by the horse cops than the bike cops.
Well, you should be. Horses are terrifying.
Yeah.
I hate horses.
They'll trample you to death.
I do not like them at all.
They are for chasing people through parks.
I grew up with horses, and they have evil in their eyes. Everyone I've ever seen.
Maybe they could just sense you.
It's possible.
Maybe they just react to your energy.
I can see it in their face.
You have a negative aura, because I get along great with horses.
I know. Pulling the wool over your eyes, man. They're going to take over.
Yeah.
You ever see Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yes.
When the dolphins all leave Earth because they're actually aliens? That's how I feel about horses. I think if the Earth comes to an end, horses are going to just fly away.
They're fucking smart. I think if they could fly, they'd have done it by now.
Well, no, they're
horses
playing
are
dumb.
Smart. You piss off a horse today and go back 5 years later, it'll remember you.
Yeah, it's fucking. I hate horses. Anyway, yeah, the march was awesome. I went around, did some Q&A with a bunch of people.
Yep.
Saw Bong Man.
Gonna have that footage for next week?
I'm gonna have the footage for next week. I ran into some timing issues where I'm a lazy piece of shit.
Yep.
And I didn't edit the footage, but we'll definitely have it for next week. I got lots of time this week.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I got some fun footage. Somehow managed to get through the whole march without smoking one joint.
Really?
Yeah, I was there for 3.5 hours.
That's insane.
I know. I find it a personal accomplishment.
Whenever I go to those marches, I can't make it 5 steps without someone offering me a joint.
Well, you're always happy.
I'm a very jovial guy.
You know, that's what I love about pot, and that's why
I'm recognizable from these shows.
This is why I don't consider pot a drug, and that's because it's the only drug that addicts share. You meet the biggest potheads, and they're like, "Hey, you want to hit? You want to go out for a joint? You want to go smoke?" Like the law for I've had strangers offer it to me. Like you never get that with any other drug at all.
Coke a little bit. They won't share a lot with you, but they'll just share enough with you that you'll stay and talk with them for hours.
Yeah, but they take the majority, and they're shysters. They're fucking, they're pricks.
Yeah, they'll give you a little bit and then convince you to split an 8-ball with them.
Yeah, where you pay the majority.
Oh, of course you do.
I forgot my wallet.
The most redundant question in the world is, would you like some more cocaine? Because that implies that you have already done cocaine. And if you are already on cocaine, of course you want to do more cocaine. That is the only thing cocaine is guaranteed to make you do.
That would be a funny decision.
And that's want more cocaine.
No, I'm fine, man. No, I'm fine. No, I had just the right amount. I'm good. I couldn't. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. I did coke just once in my life. I did it with my brother, and we did 2 8-balls in a night. It was a long night, but I know nothing about the drug culture.
I worked in the restaurant industry, and that's all I have to say about cocaine.
I don't know what that means.
It is rampant in the bar and restaurant industry.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. People who work night shift go out afterwards. Oh, fuck. Waitresses and bartenders.
Was there just a woo for coke?
Do more cocaine than anyone in the world.
Don't do coke, everyone. It's a terrible, filthy drug. And all it does is make you drink more. Just drink. I like drinking. I often wonder how people get into... and my coke story.
Oh, yeah.
So my brother, we do a couple 8-balls, me, him, and my cousin. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm very ignorant to the whole drug culture.
Yeah, because I don't think you did a couple 8-balls.
What's that?
That's like a...
No, I know how much. That's all I know about it. But beyond that, I don't know how much it costs or anything. And I didn't feel like crazy. I thought it would fuck me up like weed fucks me up. I thought I'd feel like almost like a different human being, and it just makes you intense.
Oh,
just makes you
super
focused.
Intense.
But it doesn't fuck up your, what your vision, like what you perceive. Your perception doesn't fuck that up, and I thought it would. So anyway, at the end of the night, I'm like, how much did this cost? And he was like, $600. And that's when I lost it. I was like, get it out of my nose! And I'm trying to get it out of my nose and trying to roll it. We'll just sell it back, for half price. Literal nose candy. So fucking nasty. I couldn't believe how much he spent on it. I was like, I'm never doing this again. Fuck that.
It's a crazy drug.
And it didn't fuck me up enough to be worth the cost. When I can go down and $10 bucks.
Plus, it'll just straight up put holes in your brain.
Yeah, and I can go $10 bucks, grab a gram of mushrooms, and go fucking crazy for 6 hours.
Oh, yeah.
That's a way better drug. There we go, mushrooms. Homegrown, right on cow shit.
But the people who do coke are people who want to be hyper-aware and super focused and intense. Whereas the people who do mushrooms and pot, generally they just want to chill out. And if you're on mushrooms, fucking forget about shit and go crazy. Go visit another world inside your brain.
I guess you do coke and do like a 4-hour lecture on William Shakespeare.
Coke. Oh,
Here's why he was great.
The stupidest ideas ever invented in the world have been said and forgotten in a coke-fueled rant.
I felt the same way on mushrooms.
You get 2 guys on coke talking, and they will agree on everything, and it'll be stupid.
Yeah. When I was last time I did mushrooms, I wrote pen pal letters to myself in the future, thinking I would forget everything. So I filled up a whole fucking notebook with the meaning of life, and I was like, I got it all right here. This book is the most important book ever. That's what I love about it. Just feels like everything is the most important thing ever done in time, which in hindsight makes me fucking laugh. I wake up in the morning, I read some of the shit. It's just like, shrooms are good. That's all it says. And the night before I was like, that is brilliant. I'm a genius. But there you have it. But I think the march.
Yep, back to the march.
Back to the march. I don't know how you guys feel about the march. I like it a lot of people think it's silly. If you're on the outside of the weed culture, they're like, oh, it's just guys who want weed legalized because they're stoned. It's like, no, fuck you. It's more than that. It's about more than that. And it's about personal freedom. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do to yourself as long as it doesn't hinder anyone else's personal space or personal freedoms. And that's what I really like about the march and these protests, is that to me it's more than weed. It's just about your personal freedom in general.
Yeah.
Which now opens it up to our discussion today, which we're going to be talking about democracy and personal freedom. Yeah, what a funny subject.
Matt, were you able to find that video I asked for? Oh, you're busy.
Which one were you thinking of pulling up?
Braveheart.
Oh, yeah. Matt Oliver. Can you pull up the Braveheart clip? I'm
going to give it away what it is, but it's a great clip.
It's a great clip.
We're talking about freedom.
It's on YouTube.
It's the one I asked you to get. God damn it. The one thing.
We got to find a new goddamn venue.
I asked very politely, too.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. Throughout the show, we're going to talk about democracy and freedoms, play some clips that support our cause. But at the same time, if you guys have any stories out there, if you're watching online, you can write in on the chat room. If you have any stories about your personal freedom being abused, any sort of injustice, we want to hear stories. We want to talk with you about any stories you have about.
We have mics at the front that people can talk on.
Yeah, you can come talk on the mics. That's the one. We're just confirming a clip. Yeah, so if you have any stories about, the government coming down on you, fucking you, the man, any of the man stories, come on up and share your thing. We got, 2 live mics right here.
It's crazy.
Look at the people just move. Running over each other to get to the mic. Do you have any? Here we go.
Army. To join it, do you give homage?
I give homage to Scotland. And if this is your army, why does it go?
We didn't come here to fight for them.
Oh! The English are too many.
You're doing a great job.
Sons of Scotland, I am William Wallace.
William Wallace is 7 feet tall.
Yes, I've heard. Kills men by the hundred. And if he were here, he'd consume the English with fireballs from his eyes and bolts of lightning from his arse. I am William Wallace. And I see a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. You've come to fight as free men. And free men you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight?
Right? Against that? No! We will run!
And we will live. Aye. Fight and you may die. Run and you'll live. At least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
I love it. Not gonna lie to you, every time I see
William Wallace eventually died a terrible, terrible death.
Yeah, he was drawn and quartered and placed at the ends of the British Empire. Four corners. Ah, that sucks. That scene always brings a tear to my eye and a giant erection. I'm always...
It's the horses.
I love it. Just come on! The original transcript, actually, for that scene was great. Because they didn't shoot it, obviously, when he says, we'll fight tyranny. The actual line was, we'll fight Jews. And then they had to change it.
Because Mel Gibson's racist.
Huge racist. After that movie, though, I think everyone wanted to be Scottish, which was the only time in human history anyone ever wanted to be Scottish.
It's an interesting story because, I mean, the Scottish were fighting for their freedom from the English at that point. But, I mean, previously, the people that were, that became the Scots were mostly from Ireland and Britain anyways. And had gone over and killed the people living there to make it Scotland.
That seems to be the story of everyone's start. They moved in, killed what was there. And there's, it's ours now.
And then they get really mad when someone does it to them.
Yeah. You can't, no, what?
It's the circle of life.
I wonder who's going to run over us.
Huh?
Like, there's got to be, like, in 100 years from now, that's got to happen to us again, right? It's got to just recycle itself like that.
Who knows, we're not going to start running over people.
No, we're not. We're Canada.
No. We're just, no one really wants to come here. It's very cold. We'll just retreat up north, and they'll be like, fuck it.
That's like classic stand-up joke. We arrived in the summer having no idea there was a winter. What the fuck? All right, so the question today...
We're going to be destroyed by the robots. The super intelligent Terminator robots.
I hope so.
Because people keep teaching computers to think for themselves.
You know, if you get killed by
If a computer can win Jeopardy, a computer can fucking kill us.
I hope that, here's the great thing about being killed by robots. If there is a great thing, here's what's great about getting murdered by robots. They'll do it the quickest way possible, the most logical, straightforward, economical way of killing a human being.
Ripping us in half.
Yeah, they'll just kill us. It'll be so fast. You won't even know. It'll be like a cow when he gets that thing against his head and they just go, poof. That air cannon. They'll do something like that. It'll be great. But how do you know that's not our purpose in life? That's our meaning in life, is to create robots. That then they move and expand across the universe and actually make things great.
And I'm the high one.
Yeah,
all right. Cal just dreaming up these things as we veer farther away from democracy.
Okay, so here's a good question. Do we even live in a democracy anymore?
You have a definition of what a democracy is. I have a definition.
I got it right here. Oh, that's not it. That's some text messages.
Those are boobies.
That is a picture of my penis.
Uh-oh.
Why is that on my phone? Right, because I love my penis. What was that? Okay. All right, so here the definition of democracy. Democracy is a political system in which all the members of the society have an equal share of formal political power. In modern representative democracy, this formal quality is embodied primarily in the right to vote. So the question is...
Well, I mean, technically, yes, because we have the right to vote.
Yes, we do, but not on all things. Something like marijuana, which we're not given the right to vote on. Our House of Representatives get to vote on it, but that's not given to the general public. And I think that's one thing. If it was given to the general public to vote on, it would pass unanimously.
Well, not unanimously, but with an overwhelming majority.
Overwhelming majority. Like crazy overwhelming. It wouldn't be like a 51-49.
Yeah, I mean, because the people have spoken time and time and time again, but it's still... And then you get those people on the fence who are like, well, I mean, if it wasn't illegal, sure, I'd do it. It's like, yeah, but why is it illegal? I did the research on how Canada defines illegal narcotics, and the weed only fits in there because it's illegal. It has nothing in common with any of the other illegal narcotics except for the fact that we're not allowed to do it. Because all the other ones, they're dangerous, they're addictive, they'll kill you. Like pot has never killed anybody. The best they can do is say that traces of THC has been found in the bloodstream of pedestrians and motorists killed in accidents.
Yeah,
but that doesn't necessarily say that pot was involved. You could have smoked a joint while standing on the corner and a fucking bus hit you.
Yeah, no one blames the bus.
Well, I
think they always blame the bus.
They always
Never
blame
mind.
the bus.
If
you're just standing on the corner, I blame the bus. If you're in the middle of the road, what are you doing in the middle of the road? Buses go there.
Well, weed also has that stigma of being a gateway drug. That's what I got told growing up. I got told it's bad, and it'll lead to way badder stuff. And you don't want to do the way, and no one ever told me why or the science of it or anything like that. Just,
because they didn't know
bad.
why. That's all they knew is that that's what they were told to say.
But this is where they're like,
no one ever had a good reason.
My belief is that all drugs should be legal. I think every single fucking one of them should be legal. I don't think, there we go. Every single one, make them all legal. And instead of just telling people it's bad, let's educate people. I think that's the government's responsibility in this, is to educate their population properly and unbiasedly on drugs, and everyone else in public as well. You have that responsibility to educate
really
everyone.
Nice government-run crack dens.
Well, that's the thing.
Good couches.
Did crack ruin them?
A doctor there.
You're gonna want to stop.
Available bathrooms that.
Like you get into something like crack.
So you're not just shitting in the corner.
And you have to ask: is the person doing crack? Did the crack make them who they are, or are they like that and they turn to crack? Like which I heart crack? That's got to be a T-shirt. Just with a heart that's cracked. Brilliant.
Or a butt crack.
Or a butt crack. Why? Oh, well, that means a completely different thing, though. Funny. If you put I heart and an ass with a crack, that's, I love getting blasted in the ass. That's what you're asking for.
Oh.
Anyway. Yeah,
Touché.
So did the crack make the man or the man make the crack? You know what I mean? Wait. Was the man already broken and turned to crack, or was it the crack that turned him into what he is?
Okay, like if there wasn't crack, would he just have found something else to ruin his life on?
I think he would have.
What came first, the crack or the pipe?
Well, the pipe came first. Natives were smoking.
Pipes predated crack. That's very simple to figure out. You can just look at when they were invented.
Crack is a late 19th century invention.
Pipes have been used forever.
They found old bones that were turned into pipes. People have been smoking shit since we started. That's how natural it is.
Booyah.
But, so I think all drugs should be legal. I think it's being uneducated is what leads into the abuse of anything.
Well, actually, I did have a friend who's a forensic psychologist and a pretty smart dude. Pretty much if you plead insanity in Canada, he's one of the guys you have to convince that you're crazy. And he was all for the legalizing drugs. Like, people are going to do them regardless. We've proved that. So make them legal, and that way they can at least be controlled.
And it's proven, too, when it's not illegal, use of it actually goes down. Because there's an element to something when it's bad to want to try it, especially in those teen years. Booze, like everything, anything you want to try, like, oh, I'm being sneaky. I remember doing pot when I was a teenager. I loved it. It was fantastic because there was a rush of getting away with something, too. You'd smoke a joint, a cop would drive by, and everyone freaked the fuck out. Yeah, these are all good memories. Fond memories.
Running
away. Story of my life. I'm small.
Last night was so fun. I spent a lot of time hiding.
Well, it's great because anybody from the country here? Is there anyone who lived in the country? I think I'm the only one. We used to get high just in the woods, which is the best. You just get high and run into a cornfield. Oh, terrifying. You just assume small children are after you immediately. It's the only...
We have your woman, Outlander. My buddies always used to want to go get high in cemeteries.
That's not right.
I thought that was the
Fuck
weirdest
that
thing.
Shit, man.
We were on mushrooms. My buddy's like, let's go hang out in the cemetery. I'm like, why would I want to do that?
I want to enjoy
I don't
being
like
high.
going there sober. And now that I'm easily freaked out by everything, I definitely do not want to go to a cemetery. I am superstitious on the best of days.
Which, by the way, Americans don't live in a free country. You got the flag on your shirt now. It's upside down. And they don't really see coming from up there. It's not a free country. You're born free. I know it. You're born absolutely free, except for laws of nature. If you drink, you get drunk. That's a law. If you get old, you die. That's a law too. If you sit on a tap, you will bleed from the ass. These are the only laws that you're born with, and any government just fucks you out of that type of freedom. If you really think you're free tonight,
up here, did you see that? Officer Bob, you're a free man. You live in a free country.
Did you see that?
Well, you just go upstairs, take your own beer, you risk your life, you sit on the hood of your monster truck in the parking lot, drink your beer, and see how long it is before actual veteran cops come by and pound on you with truncheons on the kidneys. Why can't I do it? I'm just having a beer. What? I don't know. That's the law, though. You don't fuck around. You can't drive down the street without a seatbelt on. Why not? I don't know. You're gonna put on a helmet. You can't sit in your own backyard naked. Your own filthy, dirty flesh.
We have figured it out. Go back to bed, America. Your government has figured out how it all.
You gotta speak one at a time.
Why you standing there, man? You can't touch this.
No, I asked you.
Why?
The philosophical debate continues. That's a tough one, man. Sink our teeth into.
Well, I had videos loaded up, but is Chris here? Oh,
hey, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Chris Goodwin in the back, our fine producer in the back.
Carelessness and cannabis triggered a house fire in San Diego. When firefighters put out the flames, they discovered an elaborate pot-growing operation there in the garage. Firefighters say some of those marijuana plants did burn, but they also say they burst in the street of the smoke infection.
I inhale so much smoke.
You don't live in a free country. You got the flag on your shirt there. Oh, it's upside down. It's not a free country. You're born free. I mean, you're born absolutely free, except for laws of nature. Those, if you drink, you get drunk. That's a law. If you get old, you die. That's a law too. If you sit on a tap, you will bleed from the ass. These are the only laws that you're born with, and any government just fucks you out of that type of freedom. If you really think you're free tonight, you hero, Officer Bob, you're a free man. You live in a free country. But you go upstairs, you take your own beer you risk your life for. You sit on the hood of your monster truck in the parking lot, drink your beer, and see how long it is before actual veteran cops come by and pound on you with truncheons on the kidneys to show. Why can't I do it? I'm just having a beer. What? I don't know. That's the law, though. You don't fuck around. You can't drive down the street without a seatbelt on. Why not? I don't know. You're going to put on a helmet. You can't sit in your own backyard naked. Your own filthy, dirty flesh that you're born with. You know that body you carry around? Filthy. You can't sit out. Why not? I don't know. That's just the way it is. Mother! You're not free. You're not free in the least. You need a diploma in this country to cut hair. You're free. You need to keep your tray in an upright and locked position during takeoff. It's not just a hack premise. It's a fucking felony. And Cunty the hero sky cunt will fucking throw you off the plane as a terrorist for going, why do I have to have this? This doesn't make sense. They say if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, then he's got to get a fishing license, but he doesn't have any money. So he's going to get a job, and he has to get into the Social Security system and pay taxes. And now you're going to audit the poor cocksucker because he's not really good with math. You pull the IRS van up to your house, he'll take all your shit. He'll take your Black Velvet Elvis and your Batman toothbrush and your penis pump, and that all goes up for auction with the burden of proof on you because you forgot to carry the one because you were just worried about eating a fucking fish, and you couldn't even cook the fish because you needed a permit for an open flame. And then the health department is going to start asking you a lot of questions about where are you going to dump the scales and the guts. This is not a sanitary environment. And ladies and gentlemen, if you get sick of it all at the end of the day, not even legal to kill yourself in this country. Thanks again, John Ashcroft, you weird Bible addict, can't even handle his own drug. You were born free, you got fucked out of half of it, and you wave a flag celebrating.
Hey, don't hold back.
You got an argument?
No, keep going.
The only true freedom that you find is when you realize and come to terms with the fact that you are completely and unapologetically fucked. And then you are free to float around the system.
Fucking smart.
Doug Stano, smart fucking dude.
He brought up one thing that I really enjoy, which is public nudity.
Yeah.
I think public nudity is great. And if everyone walked around naked, it'd be a better world. Because without clothes, you have no class system. You can't figure out who's in the higher class, who's in the lower class. You can only tell that by whose ass is the dirtiest. Like, that's the only way you'd be able to fucking tell. Well, that guy's not wiping his ass. That's disgusting. He's low class.
Yeah, no, that is true. But personally, I do enjoy the layer of protection my pants afford my junk.
What protection? What do you mean?
It secures your bits, so your cock just isn't wagging around.
But if you were just naked, it'd just be flying around in the air. It's great. What feels better than air? Nothing. That's how they sell most products. It feels like air.
Some things feel much better than air.
If you had public nudity, if everyone just walked around naked, no clothes, you have no social structure. You lose social structure. You don't have some uppity cunt in a push-up bra saying you're not good enough.
Where are you going to put your things? No pockets.
You can get a fanny pack.
Yeah, but then who has the nicest fanny pack?
Oh, yeah, I guess you can get into diamond-studded fanny packs.
If people only are allowed one accessory, trust me, they're going to go all out.
Fanny packs with dogs in them?
Yeah.
Gross. Gross. Well, maybe you don't need stuff. You know, that's something that I've always, that's a goal of mine in my life, is to not be able to carry things in my pocket.
Yeah.
Because I think that determines how well you're doing in life. If you can walk around with absolutely nothing and have no problems, like you have no license on you, but you can get pulled over and they know who you are. If you don't need a credit card because they know you're so famous that you're good for it. You know what I mean? If you can walk around with nothing in your pockets, you've made it.
Or you've lost everything.
Or you've lost everything, yes. Or you're just a huge bum.
Or you have nothing to carry. Hey, it's not that I need things, but I like having things. I prefer listening to my iPod on the blue night than the conversations the drunk people have.
Well, that's personal.
I know.
But I mean, like keys. Like if I don't need my keys, it's
I
because
need
someone's
my
at home
keys.
waiting to
I'm
let
locking
me in my
house.
house.
What is this magical world you live in?
It's fucked.
Well, you're never going to be able to have nothing in your pocket in this society.
Right now, I got my wallet right here. It's my phone. It's fucking awesome. I got my Visa, license, credit card. Wait, that is my Visa.
So if I steal your phone, you are fucked.
Fucked. Don't steal my phone. Stop. No.
I own you. Check that out. That's simple. All right, I'll give you back.
I got my wallet stolen once. I was working at a grocery store, and I was way on the other end of town. I was out in Etobicoke.
Yeah.
So they stole my wallet. So I had nothing, no cards, and I had no money to get home. My bus pass was in my wallet.
Yeah.
So then I go to the bank, and I go, I need some money so I can go home. And they wouldn't give me any money because I couldn't prove who I was, and it wasn't my branch. So then I go over to, and I walk over to the driver's, what's the driver's place called? DMV?
DMV.
The DMV. And I go, I need my license.
Well, Ministry of Transportation in Canada.
I go there and I go, hi, I need a license so I can prove who I am.
But you have to have.
Like, no, they go, it's $10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I don't have $10.
Wow.
I can't get any fucking money. So I go back and I go, look, they won't give me my license till I get $10. Can you give me $10? Like, nah, sorry, we can't do that. I'm like, it's $10 fucking dollars. It's nothing to a bank. You're the hugest, just 10. I'll leave you my fucking shoes. Just give me $10.
Well, no, but then you can't go into the Ministry of Transportation
Then
without shoes on. You need
He
shoes to
can't
get
drive.
service.
He can't afford human wheels. And it's just such an infuriating process. And I can't imagine if you were missing your front teeth, you're fucked. No one's listening to you at all. You're just
Nathan
now homeless.
McIntosh had a great joke about you not getting any respect when you're missing a front tooth.
No, none at all.
And he was missing a front tooth, and that's how he knew. That's how he learned the hard way.
You could have the cure for cancer sitting at a round table with a bunch of scientists. If you have no teeth, no one's listening to you.
Well, they'll be
Now
like,
you're
why
like,
didn't you
hey
pay
guys, I got
attention
it
to
right
your
here. I got it
dentist?
all figured out. Like, shut up.
You can't afford dentures?
Well, if you just lose them.
No, they are very expensive. Tim Steves has fake teeth.
Yeah, I saw him put them on the He's a rough guy.
If he's gonna fight someone, he takes him out, and that's the scariest thing.
I saw him do it.
When you know you are in for a fight, when the guy you're fighting pulls teeth out of his face and puts them down.
He does it slowly.
That's
too.
a guy who's fought before.
He does it so like when he pulls him out, he stares at you the whole time. He didn't do it to me. He did it to this other guy. But he just looks at the guy, takes his teeth out, and slowly just puts them down in between them. So the guy sees exactly what he's putting down. Just no fear. No guy has ever stepped up. Not one.
He's been hitting the mush a couple times. You don't get that by accident. You either blocked a couple pucks with your face or you took a couple punches.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome.
He's cool as shit. I got some more videos.
Let's play some more videos.
Freedom.
What do you got?
Chris, you want to pull up the Bill Hicks?
All these comics are my personal.
Which, by the way, that action you see Kennedy's head do in the Zapruder film, caused by a bullet coming from up there. Yeah. I know it looks to the layman or someone who might dabble in physics. This action here would have been caused by a bullet coming from, well, up here. Did you see that? Did everyone see that? Yeah, but no. What happened was Oswald's gun went off, causing an echo through the buildings of Dealey Plaza. And the echo went by the limo on the left, up into the grassy knoll, hitting some leaves, causing dust to fly out, which 56 witnesses testified was a gunshot, because immediately Kennedy's head went over. But the reason his head went over is because the echo went by the motorcade on the left, and he went, "What was that?" So there.
We have figured it out. Go back to bed, America. Your government has figured out how it all transpired. Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control again. Here's American Gladiators. Watch this. Shut up. Go back to bed, America. Here is American Gladiators. Here is 56 channels of it. Watch these pituitary retards bang their fucking skulls together and congratulate you on living in the land of freedom. Here you go, America. You are free to do as we tell you. You are free to do as we tell you.
Oh, good. Honey, I heard on the news that they figured out that the gun, what happened is that there is an echo, and that Kennedy was asking Jackie what it was, and that's why its head flew up. Honey, what time's Gladiators on? Are we missing it? Woo, I'm so glad we're free, honey.
As much as I love that bit, the physics actually make sense in the JFK assassination. They make perfect sense. When a bullet enters here, it doesn't impact like getting hit with a ball. It enters into your skull, and when it leaves your skull, it pulls everything out with it, all your brains and shit. And that propulsion of everything flying out of your head pushes your head towards where the bullet came from. How fucking cool is that? That's learning with Cal, everybody.
You've spent a lot of time on the conspiracy theories.
I like disproving them because that breaks people's hearts.
Yeah. You believe we went to the moon?
I do. Of course we went to the moon. But we'll save that. I want to do an episode with Linda Ellis.
Oh, yeah?
Conspiracy theorist Linda Ellis, which will be so much fun.
That will be. Because Linda believed in the Mayan.
Sure did.
She disappeared for a couple days after it. I was a little nervous.
Embarrassment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gee.
Next week, I'm picking a way better topic than democracy. Yeah, way better.
Well, you're going to have your clips from the fucking march.
Yeah, I'll have clips from the march, which is going to be fantastic. I was asking, is the march, because a march seems so imperialist to me. Like, it seems very military.
Yeah.
Just like to march. So I always wonder
Not
why.
when hippies do it.
But I was like, let's all dance, guys. Let's dance or moonwalk or do something.
Was there the guy with stilts? Was he back?
I didn't see the guy with stilts. There was some nudity.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw little kids, too. People brought out their kids, which is fucking sweet. I was just making high jokes with all the kids. Like, are you baked? Are you out of your mind? Are you so high, kid?
How old were they?
Like 5.
Oh, yeah. They were below the haze.
And even with that, the parents aren't too keen on you talking to their kids.
No.
You all fucked up, kid?
You have a negative energy, too.
Yeah. I do that.
I keep talking about it because it's a very palpable, real thing. I sense it. Well, I mean, we want to talk about freedom debate that came up with the, again, with Daniel Tosh earlier in the year about us as comedians talking filthy, or what's too far, what are we allowed to say?
If it's funny, it's not too far. If you can make people laugh. You only get called into question when people don't laugh at it. That's the only time. If people laugh, no one gives a fuck. You can say the most offensive thing, but if you somehow find a way to make people laugh at it, you'll have no problem. But it's finding those things, and that's where, when you go to a club, that's your house. You've come to see me, so...
It's also how far do you, like, I mean, if a joke is really good, you'll defend it, but sometimes you end up defending a joke that's really just not that funny.
Yeah, that happens, but I gotta stand on the side. I gotta stand on the side of comedians no matter how, like the Guy Earl thing. There's a good discussion about freedom.
Guy Earl.
Do you want to set it up?
Well, Guy Earl was a comedian who got into an altercation with a heckler at a club in B.C., and the heckler sued him.
What did he call the heckler?
I can't remember. Did he call her a dyke?
A dyke.
Okay.
Yeah, he just threw that out there.
Yeah.
And she happened to be a lesbian there with her lesbian friend.
And so she filed a complaint with the Human Rights Tribunal.
Yeah.
And sued him through that. And
which is fucked because they have 100% winning rate. That's not fair.
I don't even understand what they are.
They're
Hey, Aaron.
Aaron Goodwin. Hi, guy. You want to grab a mic? Aaron Goodwin, everyone. Big hand of applause.
Thanks for having me.
Look at the excitement.
Yeah, my staff are supportive.
How was the lecture?
It was good. I saw Yaron Brooks speak at the U of T campus for a lecture series that had a really high attendance. The whole hall filled up.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. It was great. All about capitalism.
Capitalism. See, I don't like it.
I know. That's what he talked about, how most people look at it as a bad thing, but really everything good in our lives is a result of capitalism.
Agreed, but it's a system designed to fail.
Cal's doing the show for free now.
I will take Cal's money.
Yeah, but capitalism is a good thing, and Ayn Rand, who's... Yaron Brooks works for the Ayn Rand Institute, and capitalism is the unknown ideal. It's looked at as bad, but really, it's the best thing that's ever happened to us all.
Well, it helps really evolve technology faster than it would naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, one of the reasons I was going to come up, because talking about civil rights and stuff, something that happened in the cannabis community, I'm not sure if either of you are aware on Facebook.
Probably not.
Because of all that controversy over the date changes with GMM. We had our first GMM this past Saturday, and we have another one coming up this
We're doing another one.
There will be another marijuana march
Even
this
though the
Saturday.
weather is looking a little bit...
Why are they calling it a controversy? It's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. All in good fun. We're doing 2 marches here in Toronto, but someone, Marco Renda, who works for Treating Yourself magazine, posted on the link like, oh, he's just there to support everyone. He hopes the marches go great. And then Ben Fudge, an Oshawa activist, posted on the link complaining about Marco Renda's event, the Treating Yourself Expo, which we have flyers for up at the front. It's a huge event that happens May 2 for the weekend at the Convention Center. So it's a official, legitimate expo that happens at the Metro Convention Center. Ben Fudge, an Oshawa activist, was complaining that there's a smoking space at the back of the convention hall that Chris, myself, many of the staff here all enjoyed during previous year's expos, that has stairs to access it. And Ben Fudge, who is in a wheelchair, is upset that he cannot access the back smoking area where there are stairs leading up to it. And it led to a whole thread of people going back and forth on who was right and who was wrong. But the fact is, some people have exemptions to smoke weed anywhere.
I can't believe you're bringing this up as a controversy. It was one post on Facebook. It was actually about GMM too, and It wasn't even controversial.
It makes me laugh. If you have no legs,
Well, no,
it sucks.
It's like our back fire exit. It's like
Controversy
how
is
we
probably
let
too
you guys
strong a
smoke
word.
cigarettes out there, and it would have been like somebody on Facebook saying, "Why isn't it wheelchair accessible?" So that's the whole debate, but it's not even a debate because it's not even an official smoking area out there.
Well, that's
it's our
what
fire escape.
I brought it up to start the conversation on the fact that it isn't really a debate.
Should all our illegal spots we smoke joints be wheelchair accessible? That's what I'm hearing. Let's make all the back alleys of the city.
Is anyone really going to stop a guy in a wheelchair from smoking a joint?
Well, I think he was just the wheelchair patron was upset about being excluded from what everyone else was being able to partake in, and especially because it's like treating yourself is supposed to be a medical, like not that there's lots of recreational tokers that participate, but that it's supposed to be like medical cannabis expo, that you're supposed to be promoting cannabis as medicine, and there are lots of people there who are crippled, disabled, and have whatnot, but. So one of the defenses online is that he could have smoked out in the street. Well, lots of us who are recreational tokers do have to hide what we're doing.
Right. And let's not kid ourselves. You guys are having the most fun. That's why he wants to be there.
It is a really
He wants a ramp
fun.
so we can go have the best time.
Anyone who goes to the Treating Yourself Expo, they don't tell you this, but in the back of the hall, there's a stairwell that goes up to a space that everyone's toking out of the back.
And there's a big hallway that leads to a
You're right next to the CN Tower.
Whatever happened to sometimes life just sucks, and like it's these people have worked really hard to put together this expo, and there's this one little problem that is really out of their control because they didn't build the convention center, and it's like the one person's got to be like, oh, but no, I can't. It's like, look, not everyone gets to go everywhere.
Well, that's the question is, what are you going to do about it? Like,
just tell them, I'm sorry, buddy, but your life
We'll work
stinks.
on we'll look into that for next year, but.
Well,
I think
this has been an ongoing debate. He's complained in previous years, and this has happened on and again and again.
I mean, this place isn't wheelchair accessible.
In the past, we've carried people up the stairs who are.
This is a perfect opportunity to put money into cyborg legs, which is what I've been trying to pitch forever. Why doesn't every disabled person have Krang legs? From Ninja Turtles. Remember Krang, the brain? He had the little legs. Why don't we have that? Seems like such easy tech. I have a phone that can follow me all over the planet and tell me exactly where I am. We can't get some goddamn robot legs for our cripples? It's ridiculous. It's a bunch.
I blame the socialized medicine.
It's capitalism not pulling its parts, what it is.
You're wrong. It's socialism. It's the downfall.
Not enough people need cyborg legs, so no one is investing in cyborg legs.
You're
That's
wrong.
what's happening.
What we got to do is cut off Bill Gates' legs.
Yeah, something like that.
In a year, cyborg legs.
But that also, that is, we talked about capitalism improving everything.
And that's just when the start of the machine uprising begins.
Cyborg legs?
When man becomes more.
I can't wait for the singularity.
It'll be machines versus man machines.
Any thoughts?
Who will reign
We
supreme?
probably will integrate like technology into
Fuck you guys, I'm just writing a screenplay. No.
I don't know, wouldn't you want like
We're
to
adding
not
the Terminators,
your
but with
phone?
more. Terminator bonus.
Yeah, here's the problem with when they do it, because I used to be like this. I'm like, put chips in me. Fuck it. I'd rather just have the phone in my brain. I can touch my eyelid, and I'll make a phone call. I used to think that was really great just because it's comfortable and it's quick. But as soon as people start fucking with your insides, like they go farther than you can intend them to. Like they can do whatever they want when they're in there. And I don't like the idea of being chipped because that's all going to go GPS. They're going to know where you are all the time. They can just put crimes on anybody now if you happen to be walking by a crime. Now they think you're a part of it because you're just in the vicinity. It's already like that with drones. It's fucked. It's so Orwellian right now. It's crazy. Read 1984 and go, holy fuck, it's all true. It's all coming true.
G20 in Toronto was a pretty scary thing to be.
I worked for G20. I was a taxi driver.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Do you know our employee Sam was like put in the detention halls during G20?
I wanted her to come up and talk about it.
It was
I wanted
it was
to see
bad.
if she had a rough
and I know
go
a
with
few
the
other
popo.
people who had like traumatizing experiences during G20.
I left town.
We did it. Yeah, K-Trev was out for the weekend. We did an event called G420 where we had like 5 pounds of weed rolled up into joints. We drove a truck with a sound system over to Queen's Park South and parked right like at where all the protest routes were going through, and with like loud peaceful music we were giving out joints to all the different protest groups that came through. But that was like Saturday afternoon, and we were celebrating at 4:20. At 5 p.m. we wrapped everything up, and that was when like everything started going sour. Police were marching in, blocking intersections, and we pulled back and came and chilled at BC. And we were watching on CB24 the coverage of like how crazy it was getting, the police cars going on fire, all this stuff. And like I remember Naomi, one of our regulars, saying, "I'm gonna go down and support people and check this out," and like. We were telling people don't.
I'm not going to lie to you.
It's
I made
scary.
fistfuls of dirty dollars that week.
Oh.
Just fistfuls of dirty dollars.
I'm going to let Sam take over because she has a lot to
When
say
they
about
ask, when
it.
people ask what they spend all that money on the G20 because it was an outrageous bill, like I know exactly where it went. I got paid way too much to do as little as I did.
Hey,
And then
Sammy.
Hey, Sam. Sam was
How's
at
it
the
going?
G20.
I was, I was there. I mean, I went to go for the protest during the day, and then it just sort of all went downhill.
Let's get right to it. On the bottle, show me where the cop touched you. Show me
Everywhere.
on the bottle.
It was weird. It does suck getting arrested in short shorts because it's really cold, and they take your sweater. So you're
Why
just
were
sort
you
of
wearing short shorts when it's cold?
Because she usually wears short shorts.
summer.
Oh,
Do
it's
you
summertime.
Like what? I don't know.
Why you didn't? You could have said that in the mic. She just said she doesn't wear pants. Everybody.
I didn't wear them in the winter. I don't.
Don't you
wear 'em in the
hate
summer.
pants?
They are very restricting.
Oh, that's all right. So you got arrested.
So, well, I mean, you know, we were there downtown, and it was just crazy. And then once you sort of were downtown, every time you tried to leave, there were just like streetfuls of cops like blocking you and telling you to go another way, and so you'd go that way, and then there would be another blockade telling you to go the way that you came, and so you were just sort of going back and forth until finally you just got arrested.
What charge? On what charge?
I wasn't arrested. I was just detained and released.
Detained. What a beautiful
because
word that means nothing.
I don't know. I was just standing there. They were like, if you guys just stand up and leave, you can all go home. We're like, great. So we stand up. And then cops just started like running in and picking us up and carrying us away from each other. And so I just remember some like guy, I just turned around and I just see a guy in full SWAT uniform just sprinting towards me. And I just turned and tried to run, but there's a wall of people, so he just picked me up and like carried me away.
Was there a small part of you that was a little turned on?
It was.
Have a big
it all
guy just
happened
kind of
so
grab
fast.
you, like very guerrilla style.
Well, my arresting officer was pretty funny because this guy just abandoned me and just like ran back into the foyer because he, you know, you were supposed to stay with the person that you arrested, but I think he was just too excited and having fun, like grabbing people and stuff.
Most of them weren't real cops.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Well, most of them
A lot
weren't
of them
Toronto
were,
cops or anything like that,
A
so
lot
they're
of them
just
were
used
like
to just sitting
from
around. and-
security companies.
Yeah, there were a lot of private security people as
You
well.
want to hear a little funny story about the G20? So
Sure.
the van I was driving had no clearance, right? There were 3 fences, 3 zones to go through to get right under the hall where they were doing the talks. So I had clearance for the first fence, but not the second 2. But I was driving. This girl's like, I got to get inside. I didn't even question her or anything. She's like, I got to get inside. It's like, I don't know who you are, but all right. And I caught the cops, I guess, on a shift, and I made it all the way through each fence. No problem, no questions asked. I got him on a weird shift change where there's like the guy was tired. He's like, I don't know what's going on. Everyone's confused. And I got right to underneath the convention center. I was like, that's insane. All this
That's
money
crazy.
they're spending on security. I'm right here. I had a harder time getting out. I couldn't get out of the fucking place. Everyone stopped me on the way out. What are you doing? You can't leave here. It's like, well, fuck. All right, I'll stay. I'll chill
I'm not
out.
supposed to be here in the first place. I should be leaving.
I'll watch Obama take off in his helicopter.
Amazing.
I was at a barn party.
Nice.
Aaron's back.
My
Yeah.
friend's mom's 50th.
I
Hey,
figured
Aaron.
I'd make use of this 4th mic.
What's that? Oh, you're going to make use of the 4th mic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone in the audience wants to come up and contribute, there's always this mic here.
We were asking for people stories about having to deal with the man.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think my favorite part, well, not my favorite part about it. There was no great part. But I had a funny story about it. I ended up getting shackled at the legs as well because apparently I was a little bit unruly.
1800s style.
So apparently this guy was like running me, and I don't like to run. Like, ugh, you know, it's tiring. So I was skipping.
You got arrested skipping?
He was like, stop skipping. I'm moving exuberantly. And so he, like, slams me down, and he goes and he zip ties me. And then he goes and gets shackles, like chains and shackles. And I had to keep these shackles on the whole time. And nobody else had shackles. It was just me.
For
and
skipping.
They left them on, like, while I was in the cell, too. I had to wobble. They wouldn't help me up into the truck or out of it. So it was just like a strategic hopping game the whole time.
I'm not going to lie to you. That's the
crazy.
dumbest conversation I've ever
It
heard
was.
between two people. Stop skipping! I'm exuberant.
And like Officer
How
Bubbles
did that lead to an
was the
arrest?
Officer
No,
Bubbles.
I was already
like,
I was already arrested, and they just ran you like a half a block to where they were keeping everybody that they were arrested before they put you in the van.
Stop being full of sunshine.
Stop being happy.
Well, weren't
Lots
you
of
handing
cops
out
did
flowers
crazy
at the
stuff.
time?
We were so nice.
So she
And
was. She got detained for handing out flowers and skipping.
yeah, and there was that Bubbles, the doctor.
I'm the
Officer
I'm
Bubbles.
the most
Officer Bubbles?
the most
Have you not
dangerous.
heard that guy? Like down at the detention center, there were a bunch of girls blowing bubbles, and a guy freaked out and arrested
Yes,
girls
well-
for blowing bubbles. And then he became a YouTube sensation. Everyone refers to him as
Now he's
Officer
Officer
Bubbles,
Bubbles.
and he hates it. He like tried to sue the person who put the video up and
Well,
everything.
the whole thing was like people found him on Facebook, and on his Facebook, his occupation was listed as like clearing human garbage or something like that. Like he's a cop. And so, you know, he was just sort of put up as like the face of shitty cops during the G20. Because this girl, she's blowing bubbles, and he goes, stop blowing bubbles. If that gets in my partner's eye, that is soap, and that is assault.
Yeah.
And she goes, assault? What? And she starts questioning him. And then she goes, okay, I'm putting this away. I just, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then he just starts arresting her, and everybody's just like, what the fuck? Like, she even put it away.
I just
She
picture
stopped.
cops beating up hordes of children now, just traveling to parks all over Toronto and just pummeling small children
It
trying
was
to have
crazy.
fun.
The worst part was at Queen and Spadina. We were watching it on the news, but one of our members got stopped there at that intersection. She was
I
just
think
walking
Mayu
home.
got wrapped up in that. Rob Mayu and his girlfriend and
A few people at that intersection.
They just corralled a bunch of people.
They
held them
blocked
there
off
in
the whole
rain,
intersection. It was raining for like 4 or 5 hours. They wouldn't let them leave in the
and
pouring
then
rain.
Then they
were
loaded
in their
them all into trucks, and apparently
Yeah.
they dropped them off in like Vaughan.
The girl I know, she was sitting in a truck with like 5 other girls, and they wouldn't let them use the bathroom. They were sitting in their own urine. Like girls were pissing in a truck, and they had to sit in it.
Gross.
It was there was some gross fucking shit
It
that
was
went on in those
crazy.
cells.
You know what
I
I
mean-
what happened in the cells? Oh,
No,
no, tell
there's
us about the
just-
cells. What happened?
Well, the officers
it was just
watching
so
the
twisted.
girls.
It was just like, yeah, like there was no doors on the bathroom, so you had to pee with everybody watching you.
welcome
so
to prison,
basically,
baby.
Tell us
you know,
about the
people-
lesbianism.
But it was mixed with guys and girls. Like you don't usually do that. There's not usually
Sexy.
a guy standing there watching you while you're. So there's just weird shit that was happening, like pregnant
Weren't
girls
they,
that
like,
weren't
dog
allowed to,
weren't
know,
the cages
wipe
meant to
themselves
be
or
used for
anything?
dogs, like in animals' pens and stuff? That
Well,
they
they
rented?
also had so many of us that we couldn't all like sit down at the same time, and some of us had to stand, and some like we took shifts.
You know what the problem with that protest was? Is all that was expected. It was expected on the government's part, and it was expected by protesters that they would butt heads. So they were ready for this. So I
They were
thought
eager for it.
They were eager for it.
They were
so I thought the
creating
best way to protest
They
that.
did nothing when the people were actually smashing shit, and then used that as an excuse to round up anybody standing anywhere.
It's true.
I thought the best way
There
to
was a guy
I tried
in,
to spread the. Okay, go
There's
ahead.
a guy at Queen's Park who they wrote an article about him in the newspaper, and he was like, the cops knocked him down and removed his artificial leg and hit him with it. They
Yeah, that guy got
arrested
pretty famous for
an
that.
army vet who was walking through Kensington Market coming home from his job. He'd served in the Canadian military.
Yeah.
And he was wearing black because that was his restaurant uniform.
Yeah, that was a terrible day for me to wear a black tank top.
I think you just made poor clothing choices that day.
I did. I mean, and you know what? The best choice I made was I wore really great, like, motorcycle boots. When I got released, guess what was not in the bag of shit that they gave back to me?
There's a cop somewhere
My
wearing
boots.
sweet-ass boots.
Fortunately, I ran into Compton, and he let me stand on his longboard, and he pushed me.
We always do the
to
protest like this
clandestiny.
backwards, though. Like,
They didn't give you your
people were
boots
mad
back?
at Stephen Harper for holding the G20 summit. They shouldn't have gone to the summit. They should have gone to his house.
Yeah, it would have been great. I always thought a great form
Because
of
no
protest.
one would be at his house.
If no one showed up and just wrote letters. I think that a letter protest would have been great that day because you would have had footage on the news of all these cops not doing anything if no one showed up.
Well,
and everyone just stayed home
it's
and
what
called.
K-Trev said. It's they ignored the people doing the actual damage
Agent
so
provocateurs
that they
as
could
well.
arrest us all. It was terrifying.
Well, okay, so I was there when it happened because I was in the actual march, and man, I had bad luck that day. I was like behind the black bloc, so I'm walking, and then I just see them all turn around and start running this way, and I almost got like, like I hopped up on a thing, and just like they all like stampeded by me. It was like Simba.
You're the weirdest
And,
protester ever. You're hopping, you're skipping, you're swirling all over the place. You are hardly.
So they all they ran by, and the cops disappeared for that time. And I was walking down the street, and I saw them all in the alleyways. They were all in the alleys, like hiding for a good like 20 minutes, half an hour. And then after all the smashing had been done, that's when they came out and started arresting everybody instead of the people that had been doing it.
It was just so weird. I was so perplexed on the fact that there was an abandoned cop car that was left to get
all done
set
on
afire. Like,
all right, we're
with-
getting into
getting
conspiracy
worked up.
theaters.
No. Like
Theaters.
when
G20
they're
show?
it's been
Theories.
Done
you
and
got
proven
you
in
two
past
both
cities.
just said that they knew what was going to happen. They were expecting protesters. They were expecting.
Oh yeah.
But I knew what was going to happen.
How
you can see
could
that a
how could
million
we
miles
have
away.
like 40,000 officers or however many it was in the city on during that weekend, and then still a
Why
cop
are there
car be
always
left
cop
unattended?
Cars? They're
It just-
so easy to burn.
It just didn't make any
I
sense.
think it's incredibly plausible.
They're super
That was incredibly
flammable.
hard. To organize 40,000 people is impossible. So I can see it very possible a cop would leave a car. It's like, I don't know what to do now. I'm going over here. I have no idea what's going on.
No, you
I talked to a
weren't
bunch
there.
of cops who had no idea what was going on.
But there were cops on every corner.
Yeah, and all they were told to do was just stand there and be there.
The thing was that
Uh-oh, Matt Oliver's
during
got
the
something to say.
time when the people who who were doing any vandalism could have been arrested, they disappeared. And when the people who were doing the vandalism disguised themselves and changed clothing, that's when they came back out. And if you think that wasn't on purpose, I don't think you know technology or
I do not see how
like
it involves
strategy.
technology.
Because they're
So it's
surveilling
really hard to
everybody.
intelligently
they
argue
can
this
watch.
hard.
They can watch everything that we're doing in the city. They saw everything, so they knew exactly what was going on. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Matt Oliver is nodding his head in agreement with Sam.
What's going on, Matt Oliver? What's
Well,
your take?
I was
And then
in,
we got
I
to
was
go.
in Vancouver, and I was, I met a lot of people out there. And I actually met some people who knew the person who was flown out privately and all hush-hush from Vancouver to Toronto to remove all the expensive electronics equipment from those cop cars that were used during the G20. Those cop cars that were there were shells. They didn't have. They did not have all the equipment.
Doesn't that sound a bit like bullshit, though?
No,
they
not at
flew
all.
a
You
guy
know
out
what?
from Van like there's not a guy here
But
who
Cal,
can got a
like-
car.
No,
They
well,
got to use a private plane to get a
It
guy
honestly,
out from
it
Van.
does sound
Yeah.
like bullshit. The weird thing is sometimes, like even
Do you think
reality
you'd want
is
somebody
bullshit.
that lives in Toronto that knows how to take apart a Toronto cop car? I bet you that the ability to do that is something that's not shared with very many people.
Honestly,
so
we
it's
can
not
debate-
it's not as far a stretch as you would probably make it out.
We could
to
debate
be.
this all day, but none of us really have proof on either
But guys,
end. So
there
like, we
is
could
a
just say
reason
that
that all
you
this
know,
stuff
you
happens.
just
And Chris, can you put up the Team America video for me?
You want to shut her down here? We'll end on the song. I think it's a great time to end on the song.
Oh, I got another video for us to end on.
Oh, okay.
But we can. We definitely should play this song. It's there's a reason. There's a reason shit goes down sometimes.
One of my favorite movies. My homage to these guys are the best.
Freedom isn't free.
Free. I was going to sing it, but that spoils the whole thing.
I want to take a detour. What would you do if you were asked to give up your dreams for freedom? What would you do if asked to make the ultimate sacrifice? Would you think about all them people who gave up everything they had? Would you think about all them war vets, and would you start to feel bad? Freedom isn't free. It costs folks like you and me. And if we don't all chip in, we'll never pay that bill. Freedom isn't free. No, there's a hefty fucking fee. And if you don't throw in your $1.05, who will? Ooh, $1.05. Freedom costs $1.05.
Freedom isn't free.
Freedom costs $1.05.
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up here, Cal.
All right, where are
We've
you
talked
performing next,
democracy.
K-Trev?
Tomorrow night I'm at the Vapor Social hosting the Other Dope Show. Wednesday I'm at the Hogtown Pub. And Friday I'm at the Comedy Bar.
That's awesome.
And you?
This weekend, hopefully downtown Toronto Yucks Club. And then I'm going off to Ottawa.
Have fun in Ottawa.
Yeah, 3 shows in Ottawa. I love that city.
It's
They're
a good
so
town.
bored. They love everything.
It's a good town. Folks, thank you once again for tuning in and showing up for the CK Podcast. We're going to go out. I got a video for Chris to bring up. We're going to leave on this one. I found it. It's an epic fail video, but it's all about weed.
And I'm going to pick a way better topic for next week, buddy.
Cool.
Yeah, way better. We can't do this democracy shit anymore. It's too thick.
Too serious.
It's too deep, and I'm an idiot.
Let's talk about Injustice Gods Among Us next week.
Yeah, we should have just done an hour on the video games.
Yeah,
we'll do that next. You around next
week? It's a good game. I'm around next week.
Yeah, we'll do video games next
Cool.
week. Bring in Dylan or Christy.
Yeah.
Talk about video games.
Yeah, they're good.
Anyway,
Anyways, guys.
Thank you for watching.
Here we go.
All right, show this week. It was all right. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Are you ready, stoners? Oh! Hold on, gay. Oh!
Nothing brightens your morning like some bomb-ass hydroponic shit. The hydroponic process adds flavor and aroma with enough bomb to make you forget most of the shit you were supposed to do today. The best part of getting out of bed is a bong ripped to the head.
Yo, I told you, you can't touch this. Why you standing there, man? You can't touch this.
Carelessness and cannabis triggered a house fire in San Diego. When firefighters put out the flames, they discovered an elaborate pot-growing operation there in the garage. Firefighters say some of those marijuana plants did burn. They also say one person was treated for smoke inhalation.
I inhaled so much smoke.
So hard makes me say, oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me with a
police officer who admits to confiscating marijuana from suspects and then baking it in brownies. And once he and his wife were full and high, they thought they'd overdosed and called 911.
I think I'm having an overdose at the store with my wife.
Overdose of what?
Marijuana. I don't know if it had something in it. Can you please send rescue?
Did you guys have fever or anything?
No, I think we're dying.
Okay, how much did you guys have?
I don't know. We made brownies, and I think we're dead. Time is going by really, 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 really slow.
It's so hot.
Mom! Nothing! Thank God! Where's my mom? What are you gonna get now? No! No! No!
Legalize marijuana right here in Jamaica,
Signature bong hit. That smoke's so yellow.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you got hit this one hard.
He's getting it.
Yeah. It's been a long time. Yes, it has.
Say, where'd the smoke go?
What smoke?
We're jamming, jamming, and I hope you like jamming too. And the rules ain't about we can do it anyhow. I and I will see you through. 'Cause every day we pay the price for the living sacrifice. Jamming till the jam is through.
Behind me, the soldiers gather and burn huge piles of coca leaves and marijuana. The drug barons themselves may have escaped the net this time, but their evil wares have not. And I think you better cut there.
Man, this place gives me the creeps. Hey, wait a second. I smell weed. You smell it too?
Yo, I told you, you can't touch this. Why you standing there, man? You can't touch this.
Yeah. Pull it.
Suck that shit.
Wow, instant head change.
Damn! That's awesome.
Play the harmonica.
Yeah.
Let's take a closer look. This is Chad Buckington, a law student living in a co-ed dorm. Chad's studies are his first priority, but when a classmate introduces him to reefer, it's another story. Neglecting studies, binging on alcohol. The diligent law student we once knew is gone. His sharp mind now crazed with reefer.
Legalize marijuana.
Chad has become a hippie. Dancing. Homosexuality. Fried foods. In the time it took you to view this film, 475,000 of our peers have become hopelessly addicted to marijuana. So the next time one of your pals tells you that marijuana is out of sight, just say, "No thanks, Skeeter. I'm okay the way I am."
Them legalize marijuana. Right here.